name's Grant. Down there is Jeanette.
Hello.
We are live in the Rachael Prep Kitchen, as always. But today we are joined by two lovely cookbook authors from Hot Mess Kitchen. This is Gabby and Miranda, and they wrote one of our favorite cookbooks of this fall, so we invited them here to make some drinks.
Thank you so much for having us.
Totally.
So great to be here.
For everybody watching at home, please comment and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to shout you guys out. Today we're going to celebrate all things fall. We're going to make two fun fall snacks. You guys are going to make some fall drinks. We also want to hear from you guys, so comment and let us know what some of your favorite fall foods are, because we love to hear from you guys. I think, though, we might start today with the cocktail.
I think so. It's Friday. It's been a long week. What do you guys think?
I think that's a good idea.
It's always time for
It's always time for a cocktail, especially with Grant on Facebook Live. So, all right, you guys are going to. We were flipping through their book again. These are the authors from Hot Mess Kitchen, Gabby and Miranda, and they've got this awesome page in the book that like stopped Grant and I in our tracks. It is called "How to Make Inexpensive Wine Taste Expensive," and I'm like, please tell me your ways.
Or at least moderately priced.
Moderately priced wine. So today they're going to show us one of the ways, because you guys have a lot of tips in the book about how to do this.
Yeah.
So what are you showing us today to get us kicked off with our fall cocktail?
We're going to do the mulled wine. It's the most fall festive.
We thought it would be a very fall appropriate drink to have. So this is just some wine that we're warming up. And this is a great thing to do with cheap wine just because it kind of dulls any like super acidic flavors.
Okay.
And what I'm doing right now is I'm adding some orange peel, and I have just some aromatics here that I'm going to add. But this is a great fall option. But there are a lot of ways to make cheap wine taste expensive, or
Tell me, please.
Show us your ways, guys. What are some more ways to make cheap wine taste better?
Well, one of the things that I really like to do, the first thing I do, I like to do this with really all wine, but one of the first things I do is I always decant it. I pour it into a pitcher or a nice bottle with a kind of a wide mouth, and just the process of pouring it from the bottle it comes in into a new one often really improves the flavor. It oxidizes a bit, and the flavors really come too.
I would also add that if you decant it, it looks fancier, which is much
I like
more
that.
important.
People, you eat with your eyes, but you drink with your eyes too.
Certainly.
So that's important.
I love that.
The other thing that you can do if you decant it and it's still not tasting great is you can aerate it. And you can do that in a couple of ways. You can buy an aerator, but I really love to do it with a whisk.
Oh, that's
so
fun.
I pour. It's also cheap and
It is fun.
you should have a whisk. Yeah, it's totally fun. So you pour it into a big pitcher. You just get a whisk in there and get going, and incorporate even more air.
I love that.
To make it taste better.
I love that. All right.
Polly from Maine is watching. Hello, Polly. And Becky from Michigan.
Hello, Becky.
I just came back from Michigan. They have great cherries there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And Carmela from Howell, New Jersey
hello,
is watching.
Carmela.
Howell, New Jersey. Just straight across the river, right?
Straight across the river. My people. My people.
And Michigan is my people.
Oh, really?
Well, I went to the University of Michigan.
Oh,
New York is really my people.
Oh, great. I was just in Ann Arbor. Is that where I was?
Yeah.
I was by the university.
Yeah.
So I was there. Okay.
And I was
It's a wonderful
beautiful.
place. It's beautiful. If you guys are just tuning in, I'm Grant. This is Jeanette. We're live in the Rachael Prep Kitchen. And this is Gabby and Miranda. They're the authors of this great cookbook, Hot Mess Kitchen. And you guys are showing us how to make some inexpensive wine taste good.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have to say, mulled wine is like my go-to. Like, I host Thanksgiving, I have that ready. I keep it in my slow cooker and then put mugs out and just let everybody serve it together. So that's a great way to entertain with mulled wine. And it's just so like warming inside.
Yeah.
No one ever says no to mulled wine. You come through the door, it's like, you have a glass of mulled wine, it's cold outside. Here you go.
Also has the benefit of making your home smell amazing
Smells like a
already.
beautiful fall candle. Exactly.
Are you guys familiar with that Swedish term, like kuga? It means it's like the depth. It's being cozy.
You're right.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? It's not higgy?
No, Huga. I think it's Huga, actually.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel that mulled wine is like the definition of
Rachel
sure.
actually loves that term. She
Yes.
like loves Copenhagen. That is like one of her.
She has a line of cookbook, actually.
Inspired by Huga, exactly. I know, that was very funny mention. All right, so we are going to let this come up to a bubble, right? I'm going to give it a little bit more heat.
Very light bubble. We're
Yes.
not trying to kill the alcohol.
We don't want to kill the alcohol.
Warm it
That's
through.
the opposite of what we want to do.
Exactly.
All right, great. So while this comes up to a bubble, Grant and I both have some really fun fall things to share with you as well. You guys have one more cocktail you're going to share with us, which is the Hot Body Hot Toddy, which I am all on board for. Why don't you guys go grab your ingredients?
Okay.
We're going to keep our eye on the mulled wine. I'm going to get things started. Lots to do today.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so head over there. Lawson. She's one of our former interns.
Hi,
Hey, Robin. She used to do this with us in the kitchen. Hey, girl, how's it going?
Kathy said this is so her wheelhouse.
Oh.
You should pick up their book. There's a lot of fun other.
Oh my gosh. I do have to say, one of my favorite recipes from that book is the enchiladas. What did you call the enchiladas?
My ex's engaged enchiladas.
My ex's engaged enchiladas. They've really got a recipe for everything. It's funny. So today, we don't have any exes in here today. So today we're just going to I'm going to show you guys how to make fall to me equals squash. I mean, actually, speaking of squash, we just wrapped up a really busy tape week here in the studio with Rachel. And she made, how many dishes did she make with squash this week?
76. I don't know, but it was a lot.
It was a lot of squash. So we had some leftover butternut squash in the kitchen, and it inspired me to make one of my favorite dishes of all time, which is a dish I get at a bar near my house called squash Parmesan. Why can't you? And again, I'm an Italian girl from New Jersey. I'll Parmesan anything. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a squash Parmesan sandwich. So basically what I've got here is our standing breading process. You've watched Rachel do it hundreds of times and us do it a bunch. You've got flour, egg, and breadcrumb. I'm using some panko breadcrumb, which I'm actually going to flavor up with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. You can't have Parm unless there's some Parmesan cheese. And then I just chopped up finally some really nice fresh rosemary. I think rosemary to me just kind of tastes like fall, winterish. I don't know. Christmas trees.
Cozy.
Yeah, it's cozy. Exactly. So I'm going to mix this up with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to season every layer of this breading process with salt and pepper because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity to flavor any layers of your dish.
Jeanette's using squash today to celebrate fall, but if you guys love pumpkin, which I know a lot of people love pumpkin, we're actually not doing anything pumpkin today, but on our website we do have the top 12 most popular pumpkin recipes of all time.
It's a great list.
We just took a look at the list. There's some really great things. There's some desserts, there's some savory things, there's some pasta, pretty much everything. But you can head on over to the website and check that out. We'll also post it below.
Check my oil. Is it on?
Totally.
Thank you.
It's not on.
It's not on. I need the oil to be hot. Evelyn says hello from Illinois. Carla says hello from Washington. And Leslie says hello from Arizona.
Hello.
Thank you, ladies, for watching us today.
Thank you so much for watching. And please comment and let us know where you guys, or what your favorite fall dishes are. Because we're celebrating fall today with two of our favorite fall dishes. And we want to know what yours are.
Yes.
Also, if you're watching right now and you like what you're watching and you want to watch more of these, click that follow button. I don't know where it is on your screen because it seems to move. It's either on below or bottom or the top.
Yeah, we're not sure.
There's a little button that says follow. Just click it and I'll let you know when we're live. Every single time. Pam from Kankakee.
Kankakee,
That's
Illinois.
a fun thing to say.
Hello, Pam.
Kankakee. I believe that's how they would say it.
That's how we say it now.
Kate is watching from St. Louis.
Hello, Kate.
And Jim says hi from Pennsylvania. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim. All right, so Grant, I'm going to get a few more of these breaded. Again, so I just sliced my butternut squash. This is the neck of the butternut squash, but when I was testing this, you can also use the base. Just make sure you scoop out the seeds.
Yeah.
And then I would say I used, to make 4 sandwiches, I'm using like 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds of butternut squash. And I just breaded it the same way you would bread chicken parm or eggplant for eggplant parm. So it's, again, just the flour, egg, breadcrumb. I seasoned the breadcrumb with a little bit of Parmesan, a little bit of rosemary, and I've got some of these going in here. I'm going to toss one more in, and then I'm going to clean up a little bit. But you've got something that you're cooking today that he was testing this week, and I have to say, members of our staff were saying it was their favorite thing that they've eaten in a very long time.
I know.
So please show the people what you are making.
Absolutely, yeah. So come on down here. Today I'm going to make a fun dip, which we started calling fall dip, but it's really just French onion dip with a little bit of a fall twist. So in this pan, I just caramelized some onions. I diced up 2 onions and just cooked them with some butter and a little bit of olive oil, and cook these over a really, really low heat for a really long period of time so they get nice and caramelized. And that just sort of like brings out all the sweetness of the onions. So you have this really yummy dip that's like kind of tangy, but the onions make it kind of sweet. It's very delicious. This is what you want the onions to look like. You want them to be nice and golden brown. And I cook those on a really low and slow heat, but now I'm going to turn up that heat and put the onions back on here. Get the pan nice and hot. And I'm going to add in a splash of apple cider, hard apple cider. I forgot what this was called. Hard cider. And that's going to give it that nice like fall twist. It's going to make it a little sweet, a little bit spicy, and a little bit boosty, which we all like, right?
Sonia commented and said she's glad that we're back. Where's that cider go?
Oops, sorry.
Janet says hi from Ohio, and Margaret says hello from Augusta, Georgia. Hi, Margaret.
Hello,
I'm gonna have a quick sip of this. Do you mind?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, it's a little warm, but
That's fine.
You're fine.
I love hard cider in the fall. I mean, I love hard cider all the time, but I wasn't the biggest beer drinker. I've kind of gotten into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But hard cider is like a nice compromise. You kind of feel like you're drinking a beer. It's in a cool bottle. It's delicious. It's like adult apple juice, really.
Yeah.
With bubbles.
I think one of the reasons I was so shocked when everybody was talking about how much they love this dip today, it's so easy to make, like it's incredibly easy. And it's just funny that some of the things that are so simple to make sometimes are people's favorites.
Yeah.
And so I cooked down the apple cider, or the hard cider a little bit.
It smells so good.
Isn't it so
yeah. Once that hits the pan, it really smells
And
delicious.
I have one back here that's cold. Would you mind
Oh,
grabbing
yeah, no,
it?
absolutely not.
You want to make sure you let it cool a little bit before you start making the dip. And then these onions basically cook down to like nothing. They're just nice and brown, beautiful color. We're going to put them into a bowl.
The Grant's recipe for his delicious hard cider onion dip and my squash parm and the girls from Hot Mess Kitchen, all their cocktails are going to be up on the Facebook page just a little bit later. So if you want to make any of these this weekend, because it's finally Friday, a good fall Friday.
Okay.
If you want to make any of these this weekend, make sure to check out the Facebook page just a little bit later.
Yeah.
Lori commented and she said that she came to the show in April. Hey Lori, well then you definitely saw the two of us running around with whisks and chicken and flour probably all over us. We hope you had a nice time, Lori. Lorraine from Hawkesbury, Ontario is watching. Hello, Lorraine.
Hello, Lorraine.
Bobby says hello from Astoria, right here in New York City. Hello, neighbor. And Shelly says hello from Canada.
Ooh, and Sonia commented that she loves Rachel's gingerbread waffles.
Oh, I do love Rachel's gingerbread waffles. You know, those are actually something, she made those on, like, did she make those on 30-minute meals? I made those in college. Like, that was, like, my, like, holiday brunch staple. I love, like, finding those, like, fun little bits of things that, like, Rachel was in our lives well before we were working for her.
Yeah. Just to catch you guys up on what I did, I added the caramelized onions with the cider into this bowl. I added in about a cup of sour cream and a half a cup of mayonnaise. And now we're just going to mix that up. And this is a really good dish. This is something that you could like make today and have it all weekend long. If you're going to watch the big game.
I love a good make-ahead.
How much I love the big game.
I do love a good make-ahead. So,
Yes.
you know, if you're going to have people over this weekend.
You know what? I don't watch football, but if someone gave me this dip, I would watch football.
Do you want to
Just
come over
eat
on
it.
Sunday just to eat dip?
Maybe. You just said football, and I was like, oh, I don't know.
Oh, Candace commented that it's actually, I'm going to one. It's Canadian Thanksgiving on Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, so happy Thanksgiving to all of our friends
Wait,
in
you're
Canada.
going to a Canadian
I
Thanksgiving?
am. My friend Stephanie is married to my friend Dave. Dave's from Canada. Long story short, they host Canadian Thanksgiving,
Good.
so I'll be there on Monday. Anne says that she loves watching, and she lives in Iowa. Hello, Anne. And Cheryl says, oh, someone just commented. You guys comment with what some of your favorite fall dishes are to make. We're showing you some of ours. Cheryl likes to make corn and bacon chowder.
Yeah.
It's actually a great one, because I feel like we're just on the cusp of the corn now, guys.
Yeah.
It's like, it was really great all summer, and like, kind of get your last licks in. It's
Yeah.
like a few more weeks of corn.
So I seasoned up our dip with some salt and pepper. I added in a splash of white balsamic. You can use white wine and vinegar. I just like the tang, like the, you know, it's kind of like eating salt and vinegar chips. I like that kind of
I
tang.
love salt and pepper.
Yeah. And so now I like to like sort of let this sit in the fridge for a couple hours or overnight just to let all those flavors kind of come together.
Yummy.
But luckily for all of us,
Yay!
I have one back here that's already done. And I like to just top it with some chives. So I'm going to chop those guys up. Now, I was talking to Rachel. She was asking me the other day what I was making for Facebook Live. And so I told her I was thinking about making a French onion dip. And she came up with the best idea. She was like, you should take the leftover French onion dip and make a French onion French bread pizza with it. So I'm actually going to do this in a little bit. But we're going to try the dip first. So I'm going to put some fresh chives right on top.
Brenda says that chili is her go-to fall food. I agree. I love a good pot of chili. It's easy to make healthy and keep in the fridge all week.
Yeah.
And then it's an easy dinner in the middle of the week.
And it's also good for the big game.
You're right. You're right. Chili and dip. That's what you guys should make for the big game. Faye says hello from Palm Coast, Florida. Pam Melton and Wendell Melton are watching. Those are Grant's parents. Hi, Pam and Wendell. And Nathan says hello from Oregon. Hi, Nathan. All right, let me in on that dip.
And I like to serve this with some sweet potato chips since it's fall. It's nice little fall twist, right? Yum.
That is good. That's
Thank
really
you.
good, Grant. I like that a lot. All right.
Alright, let's stick on your
I
squash.
flipped my squash, and they actually, you just want them to get brown on both sides. I'm just shallow frying them in a little bit of olive oil. You can use coconut oil, canola oil, whatever you got. I like the flavor of the olive oil. That dip is really good. I really enjoyed that dip. So you guys can see in the pan, I gave them a flip while Grant was cooking. I'll show you a little bit closer so you can see how nice and crispy and kind of golden brown they got.
Yum.
And so what I'm going to do is, like any good Italian girl from New Jersey, I'm going to stick it on a sandwich with sauce and mozzarella, and we're going to call it a squash parm.
Delicious. Linda says, hey, from Long Beach, California.
Hello.
Hello, Linda. And Michelle's watching from Canada. Just to catch you guys up on what we're doing today, I'm Grant, this is Jeanette. We're live in the Rachael Prep Kitchen. And today we're celebrating fall. I just made a really yummy caramelized onion dip. Jeanette's in the middle of making a squash Parmesan, right?
I am making a squash Parmesan.
And we have two of our friends from Hot Mess Kitchen. This wonderful book that I have right back here. They made this malt cider, which is almost ready to taste. We're going to taste that in just a couple minutes, but they're going to make one more cocktail as well. So make sure you stay tuned
smell the
to watch
mulled wine.
that.
It's starting to smell really like beautifully fall. Okay, so this is actually funny. I came in this morning and I was like, oh, obviously for Parmesan I need to have tomato sauce. And luckily I work here and we had a really busy week. Rachel made some awesome pasta dishes this week. I am using Rachael Ray's leftovers. That is a pretty cool thing. So she made this beautiful, this is you'll have to watch out for this recipe. It should be airing soon. She made a tomato and fennel sauce that she pureed, like she kind of used the immersion blender and made that a really nice texture. And she served it over peachy, which is one of my favorite kinds of pasta. She taught me about that one. It's like thick spaghetti. It takes a very long time to cook, which is kind of like a little joke around the kitchen. But it's an absolute one of my favorite shapes of pasta now. So I'm just going to top, I just have some hoagie rolls or sub rolls, and I'm going to top them with a little bit of Rachel's beautiful tomato sauce. So you can use store-bought if you want to make your own tomato sauce. I'm just using some of Rachel's. And then I'm going to top it with a few slices of fresh mozzarella.
We have an interesting comment from Katharina who says she's in Sweden, and right now they're all about the chanterelle mushrooms.
Oh,
That's fun.
very interesting, Katrina.
Georgie sends a big hello from New Zealand.
Hello, Georgie.
Hello, Georgie in New Zealand. And Sheila says hi from Cameron, Missouri.
Hi, Sheila.
Hello, Sheila. Thanks for watching.
So I top these just the traditional parm. It's like I got our fried butternut squash, a little bit of tomato sauce, and then some fresh mozzarella. And I thought I'd need to go one step further, just because, you know, I'm always looking for a way to eat more cheesy garlic bread.
Yeah, who isn't, right?
I'm going to brush the inside with a little bit of some garlic butter, which is just a stick of butter with a couple of crushed cloves of garlic. And then I'm going to toss this in the oven just to kind of let the butter crisp up the bread a little bit, let the cheese melt. I see our friends licking their lips over here. They want to try some. So I'm going to pop this in the oven, and we'll take it out when it's ready.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of cheesy garlic bread,
Yes.
how do you guys feel about a cheesy French onion pizza? Sounds good, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the leftovers from our French onion dip. I have a little tip for you. You probably want to make double of this because you're not going to have leftovers of it necessarily. So if you make this, make 2 portions of it so you can make this French bread pizza the next day. I'm going to put about a half a cup of that French onion dip on each side of the bread. Typically for a French bread pizza, you would use French bread. I'm using ciabatta because Rachel made a ton of pasta this week, so and she always serves her pasta with some warm, crusty ciabatta bread, so I have some leftover bread from that.
I love when we get inspiration from all of Rachel's leftovers.
I know, right?
It was a busy week cooking here, but it was delicious. Jess says hello from Indiana. Hi, Jess. Margaret says hello from Maryland. And Trudy says hello from Alaska, and she says, brr.
Oh.
Probably winter. Did you bypass fall in Alaska? What's the weather like in Alaska today? Andrea from Wisconsin says that she loves us both. Hello, Andrea. We love you back.
If you're watching from Alaska, you know what drink I think you might like?
A good segue.
A hot toddy.
Yeah!
Right? I'm just going to finish topping my French bread pizza with some provolone, some mozzarella, and I'm going to pop it in the
Get
oven.
over here, girls.
Right.
Let's see what you got next. Yeah. Actually, you guys will set up the hot toddy. I might start serving up some of this mulled wine because the smell of it is just absolutely delightful. So you can set that up right here.
Awesome.
You guys are going to make the hot toddy. And now, can you guys explain why we call it a hot body hot toddy?
Oh, I would love nothing more. Okay. So, when you're sick, you shouldn't drink when you have a cold. But if you must, you can have a hot toddy.
Because sometimes that happens.
Because it's a lot. You know, you have to go to a ball or something.
Some people might say it's a remedy.
Yeah, I actually agree. The moment I get a stuffy nose, I reach for the hot toddy. So.
Totally. So it's not just that you're a hot body that you have one, but it's that you have a fever. So that's why we call it a hot body, hot toddy. But you can be both very hot and have a fever.
I like that. I like
Great
it.
excuse to lay in bed and drink.
There you go.
That's really
even better. This might be my Friday, guys. You're looking at it. All right. So how do you make these lovely drinks? I've got a nice hot kettle of some hot water.
Fantastic.
Love that kettle.
Thank you. It's a Rachael Ray kettle.
Well, first put some.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what order you do it in, but why not?
Those are our favorite kind of recipes.
Yeah.
girls.
We'll start with the booze because
Why not?
why not?
Yeah. Good.
All right. Here you go, Grant.
This looks delicious.
That's so much.
We're gonna give your mulled wine. We're gonna give your mulled wine a try.
I'm gonna do a normal amount for the rest of them.
We give exact directions, but a good rule of thumb when you make cocktails is to just pour as much liquor as you would like to drink into the individual.
I like that. Sometimes I also like to do the count method, so I'll say 1, and then on my way to 2, it's 1.5 ounces of liquor.
Yeah.
Is that
Let's
right?
do it.
Well, Jeanette counts really slow, so it's like.
I think that worked because
I think that's good.
this was me being like, I think this is right. This is way too much.
That is also a smaller glass.
You're right. That is
Thanks.
a smaller glass.
Thanks.
Karen is watching, and she said, as Rachel would say, yummo. Rachel would be into the mulled wine and the hot toddies.
Okay.
I should
Guys,
make
this
it out.
mulled wine is delicious.
I know.
It's so good. And it's so
good.
fragrant. It
Yeah,
smells delicious.
Ah, it's so nice. Another Karen is watching from Newtown, Pennsylvania. Hi, Karen.
Karen.
All right, so what else is happening in these? So far I see one of my favorite ingredients, bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Love
I
bourbon.
love bullet bourbon.
You can use any whiskey you like. We like bourbon, but
I also saw some,
I think that's enough.
Yeah.
I also saw some brandy. You can make these with brandy as well.
Brandy's good.
Oh yeah, that's really fun. I love to make it with
Absolutely.
brandy.
Yeah. Also one of my favorite singers, Brandy.
I'm a real fan of
Sitting up in there,
So we have an
wow.
issue.
Yeah, there's some beef now. I feel uncomfortable. Judy says, happy fall from Minnesota.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Judy.
And Brian says, from Portland, says Rachel's butternut squash skillet for fall.
Oh, yeah. I like that dish.
Yeah,
Rachel
delicious.
makes everything out of butternut squash. I feel like I've gotten more accustomed to it the more I've worked here. I steal butternut squash on a Friday and make whatever I love.
It should be like a tablespoon, but I'm just gonna do
There
it.
you go. Yeah, that's perfect. Here, I'll get you a little spoon.
Depends on how much sweetness you like.
Yeah.
Here, you can stir with
The bourbon likes to be counteracted.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. James says hello from Peoria, Illinois. Hello, James.
Hello,
Hey,
James.
James.
And Eileen from Shingle Springs, California.
Oh, hello, Eileen.
Eileen.
Excellent.
Valerie says, love when you guys are live.
Hi, Valerie.
We love it too. Thanks
do
for
too.
watching, Valerie.
It's also good to drink old wine in the middle of the day.
I do some.
Yeah, do some.
And we're just adding a little star anise, both because it flavors it really nicely and it's so pretty and
It's
fun.
so pretty. Look at
Good
it.
to have a star in your drink.
And if you have someone over and they're not a star,
Then you
They don't get any.
yeah.
Lori says that sounds really good. Thank you, Lori. And if you are just tuning in, I'm Jeanette. That's Grant. This is Gabby. This is Miranda. They wrote an awesome cookbook called Hot Mess Kitchen. And they are here showing us some of their fun go-to fall cocktails. And all the recipes for this, so the hot toddy, the mulled wine, Grant's beautiful onion dip, his pizza, squash parm, all going to be up on the Facebook page just a little bit later. So make sure you head back and see that. And make sure, if you enjoy seeing all of this fun antics we're having in the kitchen, to follow us and hit the follow button so that you can see this anytime. Oh yeah, it's time to dip into
Yeah,
some
here's
dip,
some
guys.
French onion dip.
I have
You guys
just
wanna
a
try
real
it?
quick question.
Yes.
Does anyone know what the big game is?
Oh, everybody knows.
There's plenty of big
the
Everybody
one
ones
on
this weekend.
ESPN.
No, there's one on Sunday
Right?
for sure.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of them.
Every
Dang.
Sunday,
I-
probably on Thursdays, maybe on Fridays.
Yeah, they play football.
You're right. You're right. How ridiculous.
And I just want to point out that we actually have a recipe in our book that's very similar. It's a caramelized onion dip called Legit Onion Dip. It's actually
Legit onion dip.
part
That's
of
fun.
it's part of a recipe
Over here,
recipe
yeah.
combination we have called the Chill Girl Sports Spread. We got some wings and some
Ooh, I
brownies
do love
and
wings.
some dip, a few other things.
But it's exactly for the kind of person who doesn't know what the game is, but wants to kind
We didn't add the cider though, but I really love that
The
idea.
cider's like a fun little fall twist. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can add pretty much anything you'd like. I know Rachel likes to deglaze hers with a little bit of white wine, I think,
She
right?
does, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Seems like
guys.
a dark beer would be good too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
totally.
I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the squash parm fresh out of the oven.
Looks so good.
I will trade you guys a squash parm half for some of that hot dog.
Yeah,
There you
So will you pass me that knife? I'll give this a nice
For
little
you.
slice through.
Ooh.
It's a little hot, and you guys can tell me. I also
This
smell
looks
Grant's
so
cheesy,
Yum.
cheesy French bread pizza happening. So here you go,
Oh,
ladies.
man.
Here you go.
This looks
Lonnie says hello from Red Wing, Minnesota. Hello. And Marta says hello from California. Hello, Marta. I'm going to cheers with my hot toddy.
Yeah.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
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 I
I'm gonna
see.
cheers with this big
Yes!
giant piece of
Cheers! The best kind
Yes.
of cheers.
Oh, I'm getting cheese all over.
Oh,
the
that's
place.
the way that we operate here in the
This is
Rachel
so
Show
good.
Prep Kitchen. So if it's not too hot, you guys try that and let me know what you
Oh,
think.
yeah.
Because
So
I don't know, it's also
Even
nice.
if it is too hot, you can try it.
Also a nice option for vegetarians because I was a vegetarian for a few years and pretty much eggplant's like always the dish. it up for the fall with some butternut squash. What do you guys think?
So good.
Delicious.
Wait, I also forgot something really important. We're supposed to crunchify it. I'm sorry. It's about to get better.
Oh my
Here
God.
you go. Throw some chips on there. I learned this one from the great Bobby Flay. Crunchify everything.
Oh my god.
Stick some chips on there. I know it's a little unconventional, throw it on a parm, but I'm an unconventional gal. What do you think of the chips, guys?
I think they're
So
this
good.
is so good.
My husband hates eggplant,
Yeah.
so I'm definitely
This
going
might
to
be
make
it.
this for him.
Excellent, excellent.
That looks delicious.
Oh my
And
God.
here's the French onion French
Oh,
bread
no.
pizza. I just threw
So
some
good.
basil and some parsley on top.
Ooh,
You can just throw anything you want on top of there.
You
But you
guys-
can put anything on this. It's just, bread with a bunch of cheese on
Yeah,
it.
put that down so I can try some.
Yeah. Well, it's very hot, so go for it.
Yes, delicious. These hot toddies. So if I drink this, am I guaranteed a hot body? Is that how this works?
It's
Hot-
negative calories.
No, excellent. I love a good
Science.
cocktail that does that. Kate Benner, our beautiful coworker, says she says hello from the cold climate of the office. Kate, come grab a hot toddy.
Come on
There's
in,
some extra.
Kate.
Get in
Come
here,
grab a hot
girl.
toddy. We have extra.
Betty from Pittsburgh says she watches the show every day, and when she can't watch it, she tapes it. Thanks, Betty.
Thanks, Betty.
Did you catch Grant? Actually, Grant was on the show yesterday. He made some awesome
Yeah.
upside down cakes. Those are also on our website. He made all these why just pineapple? He took all these different kinds of fruits. He made a chocolate
Yeah.
coconut one, flipped them
I
upside
was
down.
like, why is pineapple?
Why does
pineapple get all the
I don't
attention?
know. You can use anything you want.
I know. Debbie says hello and happy day in the kitchen. We are having a really happy day in the
This
kitchen.
is so
It is
good.
very happy.
This
I
is
know.
so delicious.
This
I
is
know.
amazing.
So you've got French bread pizza, you've got squash parm,
With some
you've got
mulled wine.
mulled wine, hot body hot toddy, some beautiful onion dip with sweet potato
man.
chips. I'm getting tired. Joey Cola.
Joey Cola, he
Hi,
just
Joey.
commented. He's our warm-up artist on
We
the show.
love
Oh.
Joey.
It's not the audience.
We
He's funny guy. One
we
of the
laugh
funniest
every
people
day
I've
because
ever
of
met.
that man. He is so fun.
Yeah.
Rachel says, what if Rach calls for something and you can't find it ASAP? That is an excellent question and why I lose a lot of sleep. So I don't know, when you guys watch the show, Rachel might be missing a whisk or something. She'll scream, Grant, Jeanette, grab me a whisk. We normally always have the thing she's looking for, so that works in our favor. But it is fun to keeps us on our toes. Jody says yum to the ginger bread. Oh yeah, the hot toddy. Jody's in for that. That recipe will be up on the Facebook page just a little bit later. And I think I'm out of breath, and I think I want to eat some food and drink some drinks. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Grant is holding their beautiful book, which we said is one of our favorite books of the fall. It is called Hot Mess Kitchen. And I think it's time to have a hot mess lunch. What do you think? I think
Yeah.
that's time to
We made
have
a
some.
hot mess here too.
We did make a hot mess. We'll have to take a picture of what it looks like back
If
here.
you're in Washington D.C., we will be at the East City Bookshop on October 10th. I think it's 6:30. It's on their website.
It's on a website.
But you should come. It's on our website, hotmesscookbook.com. Check it out.
Oh yeah, we'll put it on our Facebook page so that you can find them, and we'll link to all their recipes and everything. Because they had so many great tips. Make sure you buy the book; it's a great one.
Thank you so much.
That's it
Thank
from
you.
us.
Thanks
Again,
for having
Grant,
us.
Jeanette,
Thank you for coming.
Gabby,
This was
Miranda.
so fun.
Super fun day. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you like, comment, share, and cook. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna keep drinking.